So here, so general block diagram. So in this, if you see, right, so what is happening in this, that is our controller, final control element is there and process transfer function, and we are measuring the distance directly here. Right, so that is the only change, right? So we are measuring the disturbance directly here, and the d into measuring transfer function, right? So that is d into gm, right? So this particular part will be given to what? Your controller, right? So this is what we do, right? So this is our set point, right? So here will be set point, so we can say plus minus, right? So this is your normal diagram. We have done this, right? So this is our feed forward controller. Now we are interested in writing what, right? So we are interested in writing what is happening here, right? So first of all, YSP minus, right? YSP minus DGM is compared here, right? Disturbance into measuring transfer function, DGM is compared, and it is multiplied with what? Our controller transfer function, final control element transfer function, process transfer function, plus DGD. Right? GD is the disturbance transfer function, so this will be equal to Y. So this is our basic thing, right? This is our basic feed forward controller. So what is the difference between feed forward and backward feedback controller? That's main difference is we are able to measure the disturbance first, right? So the modeling, that particular part is very much important, right? If that particular model is not correct, 1 minute, let me ask students. Right. If it is not proper, means you will have what problems in the feed forward controller. Right? If the disturbance is, please mute yourself. Okay. Right. So please mute yourself, everyone. Right. So, so if the disturbance is not properly mentioned, means right, measured means right, so it will be a problem for this particular type of controls, right? So this is the meaning. And in feed forward controller mostly, right? So we will be having what, 2 cases, right? So what is the first case? The first case is we have for perfect feed forward controller. That is, if it should be a perfect feed forward control, then we should reject the disturbance completely. Right, so we are interested in what? Disturbance rejection. Whatever is your disturbance, right? If it is a perfect feed forward controller means, right? If it is a perfect feed forward controller means, we should be able to perfectly reject the disturbance, right? So the meaning is what? Whatever is the disturbance, that should not affect this Y, right? So whatever is the disturbance, that should not affect this Y. So what is the first case we have, right? So what is the first case we have? What we are going to do in this first case, that is your set point, right? Or YSP of S or YSP, right? That is, there should be no change in the set point, right? There should be no change in the Y or Y of S or change in that, right? So this value we can substitute both equal to what? 0. YSP and Y both will be equal to 0. What is the meaning? That is, due to this disturbance, it should not change what? Nothing. That is, whatever change is there, that should be 0. Right. So YSP and Y both will be equal to 0. So when you substitute this for perfect disturbance rejection, what is the equation for controller? That is plus or minus. You will be getting disturbance transfer function divided by what transfer function? Process transfer function. GD divided by GP. So all of the questions in GATE is based on what? This particular equation. Right. So why there is plus or minus? Right. So why there is plus or minus? Because it depends on whether we are taking positive feedback or negative feedback. So just keep plus and minus in the mind, so that according to their question, according to the options given, you should be able to solve, right? This is your normal disturbance rejection. Then you have what? Second case. Second case also you can go through, even though they haven't asked questions so far from set point cracking. So in set point cracking, what is the specialty in set point cracking? Your YSP and Y both will be same, right? If when set point cracking does, there will be no change in the disturbance, right? There will be no change in the disturbance, and YSP and Y will be same. So you will have another equation for G's, right? So remember both. So that will be what? That will be your feed forward controller, right? So this is your feed forward controller. So 1 minute. So let me. So I hope you have the notebook where we have written feed forward controller details, etc. So if you see the feed forward controller, you can, if you want, you can read it, right? Feed forward controller, the change in disturbance, and prepare the systems to senses the change in disturbance and prepare the system to counter the disturbances. That's why it is known as anticipatory action, right? So these kind of things we have already written, right? So feedback is our compensatory action, right? Feed forward is our anticipatory action. right? And in feedback, we don't need the requirement of, right? So we don't need the knowledge of disturbance is not required, right? But here, disturbance knowledge is required, right? And causes temporary instability in the system, right? But in case of feed forward, it can cause permanent instability, because if we are not aware of the model, right? So that is that if there should be some relation between what your disturbance and set point is required, right? If that model is not perfect, right? So it is sensitive to modeling errors, right? So if that model between disturbance and set point is not perfectly modeled, right? Definitely that can cause permanent instability, right? So that can cause permanent instability. So this is the meaning. So this is your feed forward controller, right? I hope it is clear. So based on this, we have some questions that we will do once we finish all the other topics as well. 1 minute. So once this feed forward part is over, right? You have what? You have inverse response, right? You have inverse response. So inverse response, what are the things we need to understand? That is, if x of s is going in, right? So generally your diagram for inverse response will be like this. For example, here. So if this, I'm taking it as Kp divided by tau 1 s plus 1. I'm taking it as K1, okay? K1, K2 divided by tau 2s plus 1, right? So this is the general diagram for inverse response. So what is the meaning of inverse response? Obviously, your transfer function will look like this. That is K1 divided by tau 1 s plus 1 minus K2 divided by tau 2 s plus 1. So what is the speciality of this inverse response? If you remember, whatever we are anticipating, that is not happening first, right? So we are getting an inverse response initially, then it is coming back to the natural response, right? So that we are coming back to the natural response. So in this particular case, right, if you draw the diagram, right, if you draw the graph, if you remember, so according to the first order system, right? According to the first order system, what we expect was this kind of a graph, right? So this denotes what? Our first transfer function, K1 divided by tau 1s plus 1, right? So this transfer function, since your gain is negative, right? What we are expecting is like this, right? What we are expecting is like this. Now, when you compare both of this, right? When you compare both these particular systems, right? So inverse response meaning is initially our system will follow this response, right? Initially the system will follow this response, then it will go in the initial response. That is according to this, it will follow, right? So this is the part. So this is your inverse response diagram. Right. So this is your inverse response diagram. So we need to understand what are the conditions, right? What are the conditions for the inverse response? So in your gate questions, what you need to check is always what we need to remember is your tau 1 divided by tau 2 should be greater than K1 divided by K2 should be greater than 1. Right? So you have some significance for this. That is, since tau 1 by tau 2, if it is greater than 1, what is the meaning? You have, right? So tau 2 is having lower time constant. That's why when you're showing inverse response, initially the second reaction is responding faster, right? That is, the second system is initially reacting faster. So the meaning is what? Tau 2 is a very low value. Whichever value has the lower time constant, it will respond fast, right? So that particular value will respond faster. I hope you understand. Same way, gain, right? Which one has the higher gain, right? K1 is having the high value of gain. So whichever values gain is high, that will have what? More output. Final value will be more for that. That's why here, finally, the reaction is going to the second type of system. Clear? So these two things you need to remember, right? So these two things, that is always, if they give you 4 equations and if they're asking you to find inverse response equation, right? You should check this condition first, right? You should check this condition response, right? Wait, Pranit, right? We will come back to that. Right, no problem. We'll discuss everything, right? So don't worry. Right. So tau 1, tau 2. So this is the meaning, right? So tau 1, tau 2 greater than K1, K2 greater than. So this is the basic condition you need to check in the equations given to you. Now, right now, cross multiply this, right? So cross multiply this. So you will get what? K1 into this, K2 into this. So try to write it. That is K1 into tau 2 s plus 1 minus K2 into tau 1 s plus 1. So this will be what? This will be your numerator, right? This will be your numerator, and denominator, there will be some terms will be there for the transfer function. So if I substitute numerator equal to 0, you will get what? You will get the zeros of the transfer function, right? When you substitute this equal to 0, we will get what? Zeros of the transfer function. Clear? So when you substitute our numerator equal to 0, you will get zeros of the transfer function. So if you substitute this equal to 0, so we will see what happens, right? So it will be what? K1 minus K2, right? It's K1 minus K2 plus, if I'm writing it, K1 tau 2 minus K2 tau 1 into S is equal to 0. So from this, find an equation for S, right? So from this, find an equation for S. So what will be the equation for S? S will be equal to K2 minus K1 divided by K1 tau 2 minus K2 tau 1. Clear? So you have the value of S, that is S is the 0, right? S is the 0 of this transfer function. So when you solve and find this value, 1 minute. Right? So when you solve and find this value, you should find the value of what? S. So you know K1 is greater than K2. So the numerator will be what? Negative. And if I multiply this, K2 tau 1 greater than K1 tau 2. So the denominator will also be negative. So negative divided by negative. So your 0 is a positive. So the meaning is, for inverse response, you will have what? A positive 0. Clear? So this is the condition for what? Inverse response. That is, we have a positive 0, right? We have a positive 0. 1 minute. Clear? So this is what your inverse response, right? So once inverse response is also done, right? We have a lot of questions in GATE. So that also you can, we can see, right? Once this topic is over, we will go through the questions as well, right? So this is your inverse response. So this also we have done in the class, right? I hope you remember. Clear? So then next is what? Next is about your cascade control, right? So what is the meaning of cascade control? Cascade control. So in cascade control, you will be having what? More than one measurement will be there and one manipulated variable, right? So one manipulated variable and more than one measurement. So based on that, I hope if you remember, right? So we have done a lot of things, right? So for example, if I draw, right, a general diagram, right? Right. So we have a tank, for example, for controlling the temperature, right? For controlling this temperature, I'm going to use, I'm measuring this temperature and it is given to temperature controller. So to this temperature controller, we are giving a set point. So the set point will be assigned by the user, right? So 1 minute. The set point will be assigned by the user. So you can see here. Now this controller is giving, right, set point for the jacket. That is, for example, if you are having jacket here, right? So we have a jacket, for example, here, right? So now what this first controller is giving, he's giving the set point to the second controller. So this is my temperature controller 1. This is my temperature controller 2. So this temperature controller is measuring the temperature of the jacket, right? It is measuring the temperature of the jacket, and finally it is giving output to, for example, there is a valve. So we have a coolant or steam or anything, right? So there is a valve and we have a coolant flow. So what is happening here, right? So what is happening here? If you don't have a jacket controller, if you don't have a secondary controller, we can control only the changes in the F inlet, right? That is due to the inlet flow rate. Whatever changes are there, whatever disturbances are there, that can be controlled by what? This system. Right, that can be controlled by this system. That is, we have only one controller. So we are measuring the temperature of that tank content in the tank, and we are controlling it by what? Coolant. If the temperature of the tank is more, right? So this temperature controller comparing with the set point, it will give an input whether we should increase the flow of coolant or decrease the flow of coolant. Clear? If it is an exothermic reaction, the valve will be selected according to what? Our safety purpose, right? That is, if the valve is like if you have a failure condition, if it is a failure condition also, if it is an exothermic reaction, we should need what? The coolant should flow in always. We should not stop the flow of coolant, right? If there is a failure. So which valve we will select? Air to open, air to close. Which valve we will select? Exothermic reaction coolant. Exothermic reaction coolant. Which valve we will select? Air to close or air to open? Fail open, correct? Fail open means air to close, right? Air to close or direct, right? So all the answers are correct, right? So if the valve is failure, right? If valve is a failure, it should open and coolant should flow in, right? So we should avoid whatever injury, damage or anything, clear? So this is the point. Now, in this case, right? In this case, if there is some problem, right? If there is some problem with the coolant temperature, or if there is some problem in the jacket temperature, there's some disturbance in the jacket temperature, we may not know it, right? So it will take a lot of time to understand, right? So to avoid that, to make this process faster, we are measuring what? The jacket temperature by using a second controller. So we are having what? More than one measurement here. So this is my jacket controller or my secondary controller. So the first controller or my primary controller is giving the set point of jacket to the second controller. Now, according to the set point given by the primary controller, it will decide what should happen with the valve. That is whether we should open, whether we should send more air pressure or less air pressure. Clear? So that is the only two decision, right? So to valve, either we have to increase the air pressure or decrease the air pressure. Clear? So this is the meaning. So this is the meaning of cascade controller. If you remember, we have drawn again 3 or 4 diagrams based on cascade controller, and we have solved some things. Right. So this is the meaning. Right. So this is about our cascade controller. If you remember our class notes, so just 1 minute. So I hope I have the note. Yes, I think this is the cascade controller. That is, if only one controller is used, right? Then the strategy will be effective for the changes in FI, but less effective for the changes in FST. FST meaning is steam, right? Steam or coolant, whatever. Right. For making the strategy more effective, one more control strategy is applied for the jacket, which makes the system effective for both changes in your inlet flow rate and steam temperature. Clear? So once again, fastest controller will be what? Controller which is attached to the valve. Here in this particular diagram, it will be what? TC2. That is your jacket controller. That will be your fastest controller. Right? So that will be a fastest controller. Slowest controller is the controller which user input is given. So whichever case the user input is given, that will be your slowest controller. Clear? So that is here it is TC1. So primary control variable is our user input. Right? Primary control variable is user input, whatever input we are giving. 1 minute. Yes, right. So master controller, you know, that is our primary controller itself, right? So slave controller, all the other controllers, we are calling it as what? Slave controller, right? So cascade control is faster than normal control strategy. These things also we have discussed, right? I hope you remember these things. 1 minute. If you remember this question, I guess, not this question. I think this is a question in GATE, right? I hope you remember this. They have given a graph. So in this, you are having what? Total, you are having 4 controllers, right? CC is there, TC1 is there, TC2 is there, FC is there, right? So you can see, consider the following instrumentation diagram for a chemical reactor. CSP represents the concentration set point. So you are giving user input. Here you can see there is only one user input is there. That is whatever set point we are giving, that is your user input. So user input is your primary control variable, right? In the diagram I have drawn in the board, the user input is temperature, right? Temperature set point. Here it is concentration set point. So your primary control variable will be what? Concentration, right? Your primary control variable will be concentration in the reactor, right? So concentration in the reactor will be your primary control variable. So Q answer will be 3, right? So Q answer will be 3. Right. So next is what? If you see control strategy, you know it is cascade. That is right. So more than one measurement is there, and only one control is there. Right. So that's the meaning. Now, slowest controller. Which will be the slowest controller? Your concentration controller, because whichever we are giving user input, that will be the slowest control. Now, the fastest controller will be which one in this question? Which will be the fastest controller? fastest controller in this question? Fastest answers. Fastest controller they are asking, right? Flow controller, right? So obviously flow controller because it is attached to the wall, right? Flow controller is attached to the wall. So this is the meaning, right? So based on this also you have questions, right? So based on this also you have questions. Clear? So these things regarding cascade. Right, now we will see some questions, right? Now we will see some questions. So whatever questions before this, right, then we can solve, right? So that's all for your air to out, air to close, everything. So then we will see some questions. Gate questions only. So whichever we need explanation, right? So we can do that. So 1 minute. So I will share the questions which I have taken from photos. So in this page, which question I was looking for? So you can see the first question is this, right? Temperature control of a exothermic chemical reaction taking place in a CSPR is done with the help of a cooling water flowing in a jacket. Just now we have discussed the same, right? And they're asking the type of valve and controller action recommended, right? So type of valve and controller action recommended. So always just now I told, right, your selection of air to open, air to close is always decided on the basis of what? Your safety analysis, right? So what should happen if there is some failure, right? So if it is an exothermic reaction with flow of cooling water, so already I told you we have to use what, right? We have to use anyway, we have to use what? Air to close or open, right? That is, if it is a failure condition, it should be open. So it should be what? Air to close valve, right? It should be air to close valve. Now, only question is what should be the type of controller, right? So now the only question is what should be the type of controller. So if you see here, if this is the case, if whatever, right? So if it is a flow of this one or anything, right? So temperature is measured and we have a temperature controller or whatever thing, right? So if the temperature is more, right? If the temperature is more, the set point is given. What should be the reaction from, right? If the temperature is increased inside this particular case, right? If the temperature is increased, what should be the reaction of the controller? We should decrease the temperature. Oh, that's okay, right? We should decrease the temperature. That's okay. But what signal we should send it to the valve? To increase pressure or decrease pressure? That's the question, right? If the temperature is increased, right, what should happen? We should have more coolant flow, right? If the temperature is increased, we should have more coolant flow. So to increase the coolant, what we should do, right? What we should do with the air pressure to increase the coolant? Decrease air pressure or increase air pressure? Because this is an air to close valve. If you increase the air, what will happen? The valve will be closed, right? If you increase the air pressure, valve will be closed and coolant will go down. You don't have much flow rate for coolant. So we cannot increase the air pressure. We should decrease the air pressure. So then what will happen? Valve will be open, right? If you decrease the air pressure, your valve will be opened. So increase in temperature, the controller should decrease the air pressure. So this will be what? Temperature controller will be your indirect acting. I hope this is clear, right? So your temperature controller should be indirect acting and your valve is already, right? Your valve is already what? Direct acting, that is air to close. Right. So how to, there's one doubt coming in once again, how to identify failure condition? We are not identifying failure condition, right? If it is an exothermic reaction, right? If it is an exothermic reaction, in case of failure condition, that is in case of failure means what? Valve is not working, right? Valve is not working. If the valve is not working and if the valve is closed means no coolant will be flowing inside and that will damage the reactor because the temperature will go up, right? Exothermic reaction. Right. So if something happens to the valve in the failure condition, valve should be open. Right. In case of exothermic. Endothermic, we will take it opposite, no problem. Clear? So the meaning is, right? So meaning is, this is the condition, right? This is the condition. When the temperature is going up, right, in an exothermic reaction, even though valve is not working, it should be in the open condition so that coolant can come in. Clear? So fail open meaning is what? Air to close. Right? I hope that part is clear. So I hope this kind of some extra questions we have solved, I guess. Right? Some questions we have already solved in the classroom as well. If you see some questions, right, I will take one photo and I will explain it. I don't want to draw it again. Right? So if you remember this diagram, we'll explain this particular diagram. That is right. So this particular diagram, you can see the same condition. It is an air to close valve is given. Right. So I hope you remember this particular case. Right. It is an air to close valve. Now, first we are measuring what? We have a concentration controller, right? Concentration controller. So in your question, it is given concentration is directly proportional to temperature. Clear? In the question they have given concentration is directly proportional to temperature. So now tell me, right? What will be the concentration controller, direct, indirect? You can tell me what will be the type of concentration controller, direct or indirect? So according to the diagram they have given, it is coolant is flowing, right? So always take the condition that, right? So something happens, right? For example, take if the temperature is increasing, right? If the temperature is increasing, what will happen? Your concentration will also increase because in the question they have given, C is proportional to T, right? So if the temperature is increasing, your concentration will also increase. So if the concentration first input here is right, what he will say to the concentration controller. No audio? Is it for everyone or is it for? I hope the audio is there. Right, okay. So first thing, what will be the concentration controller, indirect or direct? Concentration controller, indirect or direct? No answers? Only one answer? Two. Right. So first of all, right, what should be the, what is the input to the concentration controller? For example, I'm saying here my temperature is increasing. If my temperature is increasing, what will happen to my concentration? Concentration will increase. So according, if it is comparing with the set point, he's getting an impression that your concentration in the tank is more. So you have to decrease the concentration. If you want to decrease the concentration, what you will do? You will tell the temperature controller to decrease the concentration, right? He will tell the controller, decrease the concentration. So increase is the input, decrease is the output. So what will be the concentration controller? Concentration controller will be indirect acting, right? Concentration controller will be indirect acting. Now tell me what will be the type of controller for TC1? Type of controller for TC1. Controller TC1. TC1 is measuring the temperature inside the tank. Again, same thing. What will be the type of controller? TC1, direct, indirect? Only one answer. Direct or indirect? So you can see, right, TC1, right, he's taking the input, that is your concentration controller is telling him, decrease the temperature of the tank, right? So what he will be saying to the jacket, right? So that TC1's output is the set point of TC2. So he should say to the jacket controller that decrease the jacket temperature. So here also it is decreased, here also it is decreased. So your TC1 will be what? Your TC1 will be direct acting controller, right? So he's saying decrease the temperature of the jacket. Now tell me, what about TC2? Direct or indirect? TC2. 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 TC2 is measuring the jacket temperature. He's getting right. He's getting input from this. TC2. Think. So what about TC2? TC2 is getting an input from TC1 that decrease the jacket temperature, right? Decrease the jacket temperature. So what instruction he should give to flow control, right? Okay, it is decrease, but what he should do with the flow control? If you want to decrease the temperature of the jacket, you should increase the coolant flow rate, right? So obviously here we should be having what? Here we should be having increase the flow rate, because if you increase the flow rate only, that is, if you increase the coolant flow rate only, you will be able to decrease the jacket temperature. Is it clear? So jacket temperature is decrease. So your TC2 will be what? Decrease, increase. So it will be an indirect acting controller. Now tell me, what about flow controller? Last one, flow controller. Flow controller input is increase the flow. Right? If you want to increase the flow rate, what he should do? Direct or indirect? It is an air to close valve, right? It is an air to close valve. If you want to increase the coolant flow rate, what he should do with the air pressure? He want to increase the flow rate, right? He want to increase the flow rate. Once again, you can think, right? So you can see here, flow controller, what is the command he's getting here? The command he is getting is increase the flow rate. So how can you increase the coolant flow rate for air to close? If you increase the air pressure, what will happen? Your valve will be closed, right? So you cannot increase the air pressure, right? Can you increase the air pressure? No, you should decrease the air pressure. If you want more coolant flow rate, you should decrease the air pressure, right? So here we should write what? Here we should write decrease the air pressure, right? So increase, decrease, it will be indirect. Clear? So concentration controller will be indirect, TC1 will be direct, TC2, FC will be indirect. Clear? I hope you understood this, right? So understand this, right? So always you will be having some confusion somewhere, like air to close valve, what should happen, right? So air to close valve means, right, if it is an air to close valve, right? Here also you can see the coolant is there, so that's why maybe they have given air to close valve, right? So air to close valve means air pressure should be decreased so that you will have a coolant flow rate. Clear? I hope you understood this. Right. So the same thing, I hope we have explained in the class also with 3 or 4 more examples. Right. Since it is a revision, I think only one is enough. Right. So I hope it is correct. So those who are saying flow controller direct, I hope you understood. Right. So how it is indirect. Right. So those who are saying. So I hope the confusion is gone now. Clear. So this part is for what? Right. So this is your first case. Then we will see some problems now. Right. So what are the other problems before? Right. So almost all the topics is over. Right. So what we have left is only that valve characteristics is left. All the other part is done. So let me check which are the questions we have. Right. So cascade control comes under the control configuration, which uses, right? Which uses cascade control meaning is what? Cascade control meaning is we are having more than one measurement and one manipulated variable. Right. So I hope you know that. Right, more than one measurement and one manipulated variable. So next is this one. Right, I hope you remember this one is also we have done. Given below is a simplified block diagram of a feed forward control system. If it is a feed forward control system, you can see in this diagram itself, the disturbance is measured, right? Disturbance is measured and disconnected, and disturbance transfer function is given. So you can see here, right? They are asking what are the options. So obviously, you know, it is plus or minus GD divided by GP, right? So that GD transfer function, you will be able to write it as what? S plus 1 whole square. So S plus 1 will be cancelled out and you will get the answer. Clear? So feed forward control. So these kind of problems also they have asked, right? So go through those topic problems as well. Then right, so this is another question. Given the process transfer function, GP and disturbance transfer function is given. Select the correct transfer function for the feed forward controller. Again, the same question, right? Perfect disturbance rejection. So whenever there's a perfect disturbance rejection type of problem is there, you should do what? Plus or minus GD by GP, right? Plus or minus GD by GP. So these kind of questions are everywhere, right? So that you should be understanding this. This one, I guess, this is, have we discussed this? So you can read the question. Liquid level control system is configured as shown in the figure. If the level transmitter is direct acting, that is, what is the meaning of direct acting for level transmitter? Plus minus concept is, right? So plus minus concept is, if you remember, when we use, for example, in the comparator, right? Basic example, I will say, okay? That is like this. And when you use here, this is your GM. This is YSP, okay? When we use here in the comparator plus, your error will be what? Your error will be YSP plus YGM, right? YSP plus YGM. So when you write the equation, Y divided by YSP, so normally how we will be writing? Some forward path divided by 1 plus open loop transfer function. This is the normal equation you have, because you always use negative feedback, because your set point and error will be taken a difference. We will take a difference between set point and the measured value, then we will have an error. So that is your negative feedback. That's why we are getting what here? 1 plus open loop transfer function. If you use plus, right? If you use plus in the equation, what will happen? Here you will be getting what? 1 minus OLTF, right? You will be getting 1 minus OLTF. So this is your feedback control system, right? This is your feedback control system. In feed forward control system, what is happening? Right? In the disturbance, right? In the disturbance, we are adding here like this, right? So in the question given to you, this can be plus, this can be plus minus also, right? This can be plus or this can be plus minus. So to avoid that confusion, we are saying the answer will be plus or minus GD by GP. If it is plus, most of the cases answer will be minus GD by GP. If it is plus minus, your answer will be this. Clear? So this is the concept, but you can remember plus or minus. So from the options, you will be easily able to find, right? Both plus and minus, they will not be asking in the question. So either plus or minus will be. Clear? I hope you understood. Right, GD by GP. Okay, right. So then we will go to the next problem, that problem we were discussing. Where was that? This one. Right, so liquid level control system configured. So level transmitter is direct acting, meaning is what? If your height is increasing, it should also increase, right? So he's saying it is increasing. Now, they have given air to open, right? Air to open, we are normally taking it as what? Air to open is an indirect acting valve or reverse acting valve, right? Now, what should happen to the level controller? Is it direct or indirect? So whenever you want to study or whenever you want to analyze this, always take this case. That is, whatever is your control variable, let it be increasing. So if your level is increasing, right? If your level is increasing, what should be the valve position? Valve should be opening more. You should open the valve more. If it is an air to open valve, your air pressure should be increased. Right, so your air pressure should be increased, right? Your air pressure should be increased, then only we will be able to make water flow, right? More water flow. So according to the increase in level, if you are having increase in pressure, that will be what? It will be a direct acting valve, right? So it will be a direct acting valve. So direct acting controller with indirect acting valve. Clear? So controller is direct acting and this is indirect acting. So next is, I think this question. Right, so this already we have discussed in the class, if you remember. You have two controllers here, right? You have two controllers. There is a temperature controller, there is a level controller. So basic point is, right, I'm not solving that question, you can understand it. Basic point is what? If you increase the temperature, your level will not change. But if you change the level, your temperature will change. Right. If you change the level, what is the meaning? You are reducing water or you are increasing water if you change the level. Right. If more water is there, definitely your temperature will change. Right. But if you increase the temperature of water, the level may not change. Right. So increasing temperature will not change the level, but increasing or decreasing the level will change the temperature. That you should remember. Then you can solve this question as well. Clear? So that is the next point, right? So that also you should remember. Now, next question. Most of the students had doubt in that three-part question. I hope this is the question. So we'll solve it once again. Three-part question, right? 43, 44, 45. Right, 43, 44, 45. So try to understand the question, right? Read the question carefully. We'll explain it. You have what? You have a gas chamber, right? So we have a, if you read the question once again, a cascade control system for pressure control. We want to control the pressure transmitter, everything is given. So I'm drawing the diagram, for example. So you have a tank, gas is coming into that, right? So gas is coming into that, and we have a pressure transmitter. What is the meaning of pressure transmitter? It is measuring the pressure and it is giving the input to the controller, pressure controller. To the pressure controller, we have a pressure set point, right? And to measure the gas flow, you have a flow transmitter. So this flow transmitter is giving input to what? Your flow controller. Flow controller is connected with your valve. The type of valve, is it given? No, the type of valve, I think it's not given. Whatever, right? So that we will see. So AC is given, so it is air to close. We will check, no problem, right? FT, PC, everything, FC, everything is given. Now, obviously, right? What is the problem, right? If there is a gas in the chamber, is there? Meaning is what? If the gas pressure is increased, right? If the gas pressure is increased, we should open the valve. Simple as that. Right. If the gas pressure inside the cylinder is more, you should open more valves so that, right? You should open more valves so that more air will go out, right? Or more gas will go out, the pressure will come to normal case, right? So that is a simple meaning, right? And they are asking the first question, type of action for two controller. What is the type of action for two controller? You have what? Pressure controller and flow controller. So let us check what is the question first. Right. So the range of the pressure transmitter is given 0 to 6 bar. Right. That is, we are able to measure from 0 to 6 bar. Now, the range of flow transmitter is 0 to 81. Again, we are able to measure only 0 to 81. Now, normal flow rate through the valve is 32.4. Normal flow rate, right? So normal flow rate through the valve is 32.4. Now, corresponding to the value of the set point for pressure 1 bar, right? Corresponding to the value of set point. That is, your set point to the pressure is, right? Pressure controller set point is 1 bar, right? Pressure controller set point is 1 bar. So if your set point is 1 bar, right? So if your set point is 1 bar and if the pressure is 1 bar, to give the flow, valve must be 40% open. Right. So valve must be 40% open. This is a question, right? So these are the questions they have given. Now control valve has linear characteristics, fail open. So they have given air to close, right? They have given air to close, fail open or air to close is given. Error set point, everything is given. Now, our question is, right, now we will come back to the first question. 43, right? So they are asking types of action for the two controllers are, right? For finding that, what we will do first, right? What we need to do first of all, we need to understand which is the control variable. My control variable is pressure. So what we will take first is, we will take what happens if pressure increases, right? What happens if pressure increases? We should, here I can say, if pressure increases, what I should give, what command I should give to the flow controller, right? The command I will give is increase the flow, right? Because if you increase the flow only, my pressure will decrease. So the command I will give to the flow controller is, if pressure is increased, increase the flow, right? So our pressure controller will be what? Direct acting, right? Our pressure controller will be what? Direct acting, very simple. Any doubt in this one? Right, our pressure controller will be direct acting. Right, so I hope that question is there, right? So direct acting for pressure controller. Now, what about the flow controller? Flow controller is getting an input, increase the flow. So he will think, how can I increase the flow? If you want to increase the flow, since it is an air to close valve, if you want to increase the flow in an air to close valve, you should do what? You should decrease the air pressure. So if the flow controller is able to decrease the air pressure, this will open more and your problem will be solved. So increase, decrease, it will be what? Indirect acting will be the answer for flow controller. Right? I hope everybody is getting the first option is C, right? I hope the backside answer is correct. 43C. Yes, 43C. Right, because in some books they have given it differently, right? So I hope you understood this. Is it okay? Can we go to 44? So direct, indirect, that part is over, right? Direct, indirect, that part is over. Now, the second question you can see, right? The second question. So let me share the question once again. This is second question. 44. The bias value for two controllers so that no offset occurs in either controller R. Now, what about the bias value? What is the meaning of bias value? The bias value is your controller output when the error is 0. Right? Controller output when the error is 0. Right? Now, we can read the question once again. They have given the normal flow rate through the valve is 32.4. Okay, no problem. Corresponding to the value of the set point for pressure 1 bar. Right? That is when your set point is 1 bar, right? Set point is 1 bar. The meaning is what? For example, what I'm saying is, if I keep my pressure here 1 bar, right? So it will measure and it will give 1 bar, right? He will say the pressure inside this is 1 bar. So set point is 1 bar. So here error will be 0. Here error will be 0. And he will tell him, keep the valve open for 40%. Right? So when the pressure here is 1 bar, your valve is open for 40%. Clear? This is the idea, right? So when the error is 0, right? When the error is 0, your valve is 40% open. Right? Your valve is 40% open. Right? So 40% open, what is the meaning? It will be 60% closed. Clear? 40% open means what? 60% closed, no doubt. Now, what output they are asking, right? They are asking the bias value of two controller. So first of all, I want to check what is the bias value for flow control. Right? What is the bias value for flow controller? If you see, what is the meaning of bias value? It is the output. What is the output of the flow controller when error is 0? Right? Output of the flow controller when error is 0. Now I am saying, if my valve is 100% closed, right? If my valve is 100% closed, what will be the output of the flow controller, right? If my valve is 100% closed, right? This is an air to close valve. If my valve is 100% closed, my flow controller output will be what? Output of the flow controller will be 100%, right? That is, if I send 100% air, then only this will be closed 100%. Is it okay? Right? That is, in this flow controller, if I supply 100% air, that is, if my output of the flow controller is 100%, then only my valve will be 100% closed, because it is an air to close valve. So for 60% close condition, what should be the output of the controller, flow controller? 60. Right? Our output of the flow controller is 60. Simple. Right? So only one option is there. 1 minute. Right? Only one option is there. Right? 44, where the flow controller output is 60. Right? So actually, right, we cannot find the output of bias value of pressure controller, right? We cannot find it actually, but since this is 60, and so obviously according to your option it will be 40, or we can say direct indirect, according to that logic also we can say if this is 60, this will be 40, like that. Because if you see, this is indirect acting and this is direct acting. If here output is 60% means, right? If here the output is 60% means, obviously here it will be 40, right? Because this is indirecting, this is directing, right? So opposite will be the value, right? So that is the meaning. Clear? So I hope this part is okay, so that we can go to the next part, 45. Yes, right. So the third question, right? So third question is the important question. For example, they are asking, 1 minute. Where is the question? Yes. The third question in this one is, given that, right, given that the actual tank pressure is 4 bar and proportional controller is employed for pressure control, right? Okay, right. So there is a proportional controller is there for pressure control. Now, the proportional band setting of the pressure controller required to obtain a set point to the flow controller equal to 54, right? So this is the question, right? This is the question. That is, you can see once again, given that actual tank pressure is 4 bar. So according to their given condition, so they are giving now a condition to you. That is, if your pressure is 4 bar in the tank, inside the tank pressure is 4 bar, then, right, then what should be the proportional band setting, so that we should get, right, we should get 54 Nm cube per hour as a set point to the flow controller. So you can see here, if your pressure is 4 bar here, what is the set point of the flow controller? Set point of the flow controller is this output. Output from the pressure controller is your set point. That is, for 4 bar pressure, you should get 54 Nm cube per hour flow rate. Right, this is the question, right? That is, for getting 4 bar, if you are getting 54, right? For 4 bar pressure, if you want to get 54, what should be the proportional band setting? That is the question, right? What is the band setting you need? So once again, if you want to write the equation, proportional band setting, right? Proportional band setting is equal to, right? Proportional band setting is equal to, so obviously it will be ratio of actual divided by ideal. Right, so that is actual range divided by your ideal range, right? Actual range divided by ideal range. Actual range is the range they have given in the question, right? Actual range is the value they are giving in the question. That is, they are saying for getting 4 bar 54. For this, what is the range divided by ideal range? So if you want to understand that, we will see what is ideal range, what is etc. So you can see here. So they are saying the pressure controller we are using is a proportional controller. So what is the equation for proportional controller? We will say C of S or C of T is equal to what? Kc into your error. This is the equation, right? Kc into your error. Now you can see what will be the value of Kc. Your error is from 0 to 6. Your output is from 0 to 81. So 81 minus 0 equal to Kc into 6 minus 0. Clear? So what will be the value of your Kc? Your Kc will be equal to 81 divided by 6. What will be this value? Almost 13.5. Right. So this is in Nm cube per hour, and this is in bar, so per 1 bar. I hope you understood how we are calculating Kc. Right. I hope you understood how you are calculating Kc. Clear? That is, input is what? Your input is the pressure. Pressure is what? From 0 to 6. That is the range. 0 to 81 is the flow rate range we have. Maximum flow rate we can measure. Right? 0 to 81. So 81 by 6 will be equal to this. So first method is to find the value of Kc. So I'm getting my Kc is equal to 13.5. Now what is the meaning of this Kc? If you remember, the meaning of Kc is very simple. If we are having 1 bar pressure, your flow rate will be 13.5. Because you know output is equal to Kc into input. If input is 1 bar, your output is 13.5 Nm cube per hour. If your value is 2 bar, this will become 27. 3 bar, this will become what? 41.5. 4 bar, your value will become 54. 5 bar, your value will become 67.5. 6 bar, it will become what? 81. Right, 6 bar, it will become 81. Right, for example, I'm writing it again. 6 bar, it will be 81. So this is the physical meaning of Kc. Right, this is the physical meaning of Kc. If your pressure inside the tank is 1 bar, your flow rate here will be 13.5 because we are using a proportional controller. If pressure inside here is 2 bar, you are having what? This 27. 3 bar 41.5. 4 bar 54. Clear? So according to the given proportional band also, for 4 bar pressure, you are getting only what? 54. Right? For the given value of the proportional band also, that is according to this value, your ideal cases for 4 bar correspondingly, you are getting what? 54. So in the question also, they are saying what? To get 4 bar 54, what should be your proportional band setting? We need what? The same band setting. Right? So what is the actual case? Proportional band setting, if you want to find the proportional band setting. So we can see, to get 54, ideally, we wanted 4 bar. Right? In the question, they were asking for 4 bar 54, what is the proportional band setting? So 54, 4 again. So 4 by 4 into 100. So you will be getting what? 100%. Right? So 100% will be your proportional band setting. Now, those who have any confusion, right? So we will take one more example, no problem. Right? We will take one more example. So in the question, instead of this, they were asking you, in the question, they were asking you, they will change the question like this. They were asking, given that the actual tank pressure is, right? Given that the actual tank pressure is 4 bar, right? Given that the actual tank pressure is 4 bar, right? So given that the actual tank pressure is 4 bar and a proportional controller employed for pressure control, everything, the proportional band setting for a pressure controller to obtain a set point equal to, right? To obtain a set point equal to, if they were asking, right? Set point equal to 27 Nm cube per hour, right? 4 bar, if you want 27, what should be the proportional band setting? Right? What should be the proportional band setting? Again, very simple. Again, very simple. Ideally, if you see according to your graph, to get 27, how much pressure we require? We require 2. Right? The pressure you need is 2, ideally, right? Ideally, you need is what? 2. 2 is the pressure we require. Now, Right now, our question is actual case. That is the question given to you. 27. We are having a pressure 4. So 4 by 2 multiplied by 100. So your answer will be 200%. Right, our answer will be 200%. So now you may ask, right? Sometimes you may ask, so why we are not taking 27 by 54? Because we are interested in what? Proportional band setting. Proportional band is always connected with what? Your error. Right, it is connected with your error. So you will be getting what? Proportional band setting is equal to 200. Clear? So this is the meaning. If any other question, if they were asking for getting this pressure for 4 bar, if you want to get 67.5, right? 4 bar, if you want to get 67.5. So we can say ideally for 5 bar, you are getting 67.5. So 4 by 5 into 100. Right. So here, according to 4 bar, it is 67.5. So your proportional band setting should be 4 by 5 into 100. Clear? So this is the meaning, right? So this is this question. I hope it is clear. Right. Okay, so this is the part. Now, next is the last part is your wall characteristics, right? So go through the wall characteristic part given in your Schaffner, right? I hope we have shared this in the class as well, this particular notes, right? So the first equation you should remember is this equation for wall sizing, right? To specify the size of a wall in terms of its capacity, right? Q is the flow rate in gallons per minute, right? F of X is the fraction of maximum flow. F of X, it is not F into X, remember, that is a fraction of maximum flow, right? So it is like your Q by Q max, right? It is like your Q by Q max. So 1 for fully open, right? And delta P valve is the pressure drop across the wall, specific gravity, CV, etc. So remember this equation. If you remember GATE 2019, I don't remember which year, 2019 or 20, there was a question directly based on this. Let me check that question. For example, I don't think this is a question. No, not this. I can tell you the question number. If you have books, you can go through that. That is which question? GATE 2019. Uh, 110, question number 110. Liquid flow rate through an equal percentage control valve. Right, liquid flow rate through an equal percentage control valve. There's a question is there. Right, if you go through that, you will get that answer as well. I guess it's a question. Right, can see liquid flow rate. It's a 2-mark question. Okay, so direct equation, right? Q is given, delta P is given, specific gravity is given. They were asking what is the value of CV, right? They were asking what is the value of CV. So based on that, you can solve that question as well. Clear? So once that is done for wall characteristics, wall questions are normally very easy, right? So if you see, you have to remember only this thing, that is F is equal to Q divided by Q max, right? F is equal to Q divided by Q max, and you have what? Only one equation, dF by dx. So according to dF by dx, how they are going to write, you have what? Different equation. If it is alpha, right? That is, if it is constant, it is a linear wall, right? If we are able to write F into, that is beta into F, meaning is what? It will be an equal percentage wall, right? So in equal percentage wall, you have a lot of equations to remember for equal percentage wall, right? If you can remember the equation, like F is equal to F naught into e power beta x. This is important. And we used to write what? F2 by F1 is equal to e power beta x2 minus x1. Since it is F2 by F1 and F is equal to Q by Q max, we can write it as what? Q2 by Q1. Right. So you can never write Q is equal to F naught into e power beta x. So Q is the flow rate, F is what? Q by Q max, it is a fraction. Clear? So F2 by F1 means you can write Q2 by Q1 because this is same. There is an equation. Clear? So this is the meaning. So this equation you can remember, and you have the equation beta is equal to what? I guess it is ln 1 by F naught. Right. So these equations are there. So go through it. F naught is the flow rate, right? So F naught is the flow at x is equal to 0, right? Flow at x is equal to 0. That also you need to remember. So based on rangeability, right? Rangeability also you have some equations, right? You have some equations like, for example, same case, same equation. Based on rangeability, you can write like F2 by F1 is equal to, or simply based on rangeability or turn down ratio, F you can write it as R power x minus 1. Right, x is the opening, right? X is the opening or lift, right? So based on this also we can solve. Clear? So everything is shared, every equations you have, right? So according to the question, you should be able to solve it. For example, if you see the book, this is your, right? So this part is given. So this is also given in your Kastner. So if you want, you can go through that Kastner book as well for wall sizing. So these things, wall characteristics, right? So 1, 2, 3, fraction of maximum lift. What is Q? What is L? What is P naught? Everything you need to understand, right? So, and there are some shortcuts also, right, for solving these questions. So we'll see some questions and we will discuss the shortcuts as well. So if you see the first question, flow of water through an equal percentage wall. Right? So if you see, there are two methods for solving, right? I hope you remember. Flow of water through an equal percentage wall is 900 is the flow, that is Q. Q1 is 900 if it is 30% opening, and 1080 is the flow rate. Q2 is 1080 if it is 35%. And they are asking what is the flow rate when there is 45%. Right? When there is 45%, it's very simple question, right? It's very simple question. If it is an equal percentage wall, what is the meaning? 30 to 35 also you will have the same percentage increase. 35 to 40 also you will have the same percentage increase, right? For every 5% you will have the same percentage increase here as well. Now just find the percentage of increase here. What is the percentage increase here? The percentage increase is 1080 minus 900 divided by 900 multiplied by 100. This is the percentage increase in flow rate. What is that value divided by 900 multiplied by 100? It is 20%. So you have 20% increase in the flow rate if you have a 5% opening. So here also, if you have a 5% opening, you should have 20% increase. Here also, when you have 5% opening, you should have 20% increase. So how will you find the 20% increase now? Very simple. 900 multiplied by 1.2. 900 multiplied by 1.2 is 1080. So what will be the flow rate Q3 for 40%? 1080 multiplied by 1.2. 1080 multiplied by 1.2 will be 1296. Now, what about Q4 for 45%? 1296 multiplied by 1.2. You will get the answer 1555.2. This is a shortcut. The actual method of solving is what you have the equation Q2 by Q1 is equal to e power beta into x2 minus x1. You know Q1, Q2, you know x2, x1, find beta, then use this Q3 by Q2 is equal to e power beta x3 minus x2. Clear? So this is and one method, right? So you have the second method as well. I mean, both cases you can solve and you can use it and solve. Clear? So this is the meaning. Same way, you have one more question, I guess, in your gate. Same type of question repeated. For example, this question, I guess. Yes, find it now. Liquid flows through an equal percentage valve at 2 meter cube per hour. Valve is 10% open. Now, when the valve is 10% more open, it is increased by what? 3 meter cube per hour. So what is the percentage increase? 50%. Right. So for 30%, it will be what? 3 into 1.5. 40%, it will be 4.5 into 1.5. 50%, it will be 10.125 will be the answer. Is it clear? So you can go by whichever method is easier to you, right? You can go through the equations or you can use the normal formula, right? Is this method okay? right? So 30%, 10%. Yes, right. So 10% it is 2. 20% it is 3. So they're asking 50%, right? So between 2 and 3, it is 50% increase. So 30 multiplied by 1.5, 40 multiplied by 1.5, 50 multiplied by 1.5. Or use this equation, right? Right. So any way you can solve. Right. So this question has also, right, just now I told by using that equation, that is here only problem is they have given turn down ratio, that is R is given. So once R is given, you have the equation, you can solve it. R power x minus 1, right? R power x minus 1 is there. So Q2 by Q1, based on that, you can solve. You can use this equation. R power x2 minus 1 divided by R power x1 minus 1. Right. Any equation you can use and solve. Clear? So this is your wall characteristics as well. Then you have what, right? You, if you remember, we have given the P and ID symbols as well. So you have to go through every symbol if needed, right? So that is, if you have time, go through that. Right. So sometimes according to your, like, if you know that symbol, you will get the mark. Clear? So that is your total PDC. Right. So go, if you have any doubt in any problem from 2004 or 2000 to this, right, that also you should do. Right. So the last class we have discussed the thermocouple questions as well. We have discussed, right, in the class. That is linear, directly linear based questions are there, right? So 111. Just let me check which is the question 111. So question 111, that question paper, for example, the diagram given in that book is wrong. Let me check that question. 1 minute. So question number 111, just 1 minute. In your textbook, when I was solving this 111 in the class, I told this thing to change. Right. So just see this question. And in your book, there is a small mistake, that is eta should be less than 0. Okay, eta should be less than 0. First of all, if you see R, that is your third option, R, that is an inverse response equation, right? That is an inverse response equation. So that can be correct only for option, which option? 4. R should be, answer should be 4, right? Our answer should be only 4 because it is an inverse equation and that will be valid for only this, right? Because tau 1 s plus 1, tau 2 s plus 1, right? So you can understand it. And if you find the value of s value will come as what? Positive, right? Your s value, if you put k into eta s plus 1 equal to 0, right? And if you find the value of s, you will get a positive value for the pole. So we will be getting only one option is possible for R. R should be 4, right? And if you see the other options, right? If you see the first graph, 1 minute. If you see the first graph is the first order case, right? First order will be what? This, right? First order diagram will be this. Now, if you see Q option, it is going as an unbounded response. It is going to infinity, right? You can see it is going to infinity. So you have to see from the other two options, right? You have to see from the other two options, substitute final value theorem and check for which option you are getting an unbounded response, that is infinity, right? So when you substitute that, you will get the answer. That is out of the option A, out of the option this one, 1 minute, out of this one and this one. check by using your final value theorem, right? Check by using your final value theorem. Check after by using final value theorem, which one will be unbounded, right? So then you will get the answer. Clear? I hope that question is okay. So then next question you are saying is 109, 109, 107. So 109, okay, I forgot that. Right? So 109, if you remember, we have shared one page, right, from Stephanopoulos in the yesterday's class, no, in our normal class. So this you need to remember, that is this particular figure. This is from the instrumentation theory part. That is for each and every case, that is temperature, pressure, flow controller, etc. Right. So this thing you have to cover, you have to study from your instrumentation. Right. So based on that only we'll be able to solve. 107, right? So go through everything, that is thermometer, pyrometer, etc. is there, right? So then you will be able to find it. So 107 question we have already discussed in our first revision class. So I think the video is available. So please go through that. 107 second order, right? So that already we have discussed. Clear? So all the lectures are available, right? So for you to revise, I hope everything is done. So that's the end of PDC. Right. So once again, you can see here last 2-3 minutes. Right. So whatever we have covered, so go through the questions, right? Go through things. Read Stephanopoulos, right? So I will recommend, right? So read Stephanopoulos from starting, right? So whatever pages is there. Whenever you get some free time, right? That is, you have mostly 10-15 days maximum left. So daily, if you read it half an hour every day for every pages, right? That is, take first order, right? Revise whatever we have written in the note in the first order. Go through only first order pages, maximum 3 or 4 pages. You already know that, so there is no extra effort, right? So that will help you when you solve the problem, right? Whenever you solve the problem, something you will understand, right? So the some doubts is there means that will be getting cleared, right? That is important. And for fluid mechanics or heat transfer or all the subjects, read MACAB, right? Reading MACAB is important. Try to make your own notes from MACAB, right? So that's going to be helpful, right? So that's all from PDC. So whatever doubts you have, so you can send it in, right? 8380 my number, so you can send it in. So mostly whenever I get free time, I will be replying it, right? 235, okay? 235. Right. So if I'm in the class, I may not be replying at that time, but mostly by one day or by sometime I will be sending, right? So whichever questions I know the answers, right? So that's all. So do well. So we will be having some Zoom session also, right? So once the revision class are completed regarding the strategy, what you should do, etc. Right. So do well. All the best, everybody. Right. So that's all. Thank you.